I really don't know what to think about this episode. It's going to be as much of a surprise to you as it is to me when I say this rating. Let's get into the intro. Hello there, Time Lords, human beings or strange, unknown beings, to this review of Kerblam, which will take me back up to date with the recent Doctor Who episode, which I do apologise for again. So starting off with, so I'm just going to talk about the CGI for first bit. So overall, I thought the CGI was quite decent. It's at first viewing, I actually thought that scene going down the shafts, the delivery places, the dispatch bit. I thought that looked quite good, but on rewatch, yeah, it looks as bad as that Scar room feel. Although I thought that was good, how it was done, but it was clearly them standing in front of green screen. And that was, even though the wind machines and the direction of it was great, it still blatantly just looked like green screen. But apart from that, the CGI was actually quite good in this story. So yeah, bit of a random point to start off with, but it's my first point in this. But this is a decent episode. It was a decent episode. Again, at the intro, I have no idea what I'm going to rate this. After talking all these points, I'm hoping I'm going to come with a rating. Otherwise, I'm going to have to stop this video and start recording again once I've finished the editing to do the end. But yeah, so next bit is going into the negatives. It starts. Now then, something that did interest me is when I've been watching other people's reactions, I guess, but reviews mainly, a lot of people have been the opposite to me, like been, well, what a very good start, but not a good end. Whereas I'm the opposite. Completely opposite. I found the start so boring. I don't know why. It didn't intrigue me at all. It just felt like, oh, this is Amazon in the future. There you go. It didn't intrigue me one bit, and if it stayed on that sort of route that I was heading on, I probably would have given it a 2 or 3 out of 10, because I was not invested. I was so bored during the start of it, which started a really big drop in the ratings. But it's rewatchable now that they obviously changed it. It is rewatchable because, as I said in my last, and as I said in my last, actually no, what am I talking about? I don't know, but it's rewatchable definitely. But the start just bores me so much, but the end is good. So I thought the villain actually, it was the first episode the villain died, which was, interesting to see, because none of the villains have died yet. But yeah, I don't think much of the villain. I thought it was a good twist, but I wouldn't really feel that much of a threat from him. Speaking of threat, the threat I felt was really high in this. I thought the threat levels were quite good. Like, because it's one of the biggest stuff that we've had this series, with a hell of a lot of people ending up getting a package on their doorstep and blowing up. I thought that was quite good. So, to my next point. The acting. The acting is quite good. It makes better from yesterday, because I'm not going to get onto the cardboard acting. But yeah, the acting from Charlie, and pretty much Charlie was the worst, but he wasn't even that bad. He was just like average. Apart from that, everyone was decent in acting. Yeah, quite good overall. So yeah, not too much to say about the acting, but it's good. No flaws, not any flaws I can think of from the top of my head. Not really anything on that sort of thing. Just the acting was good. So, next thing I'm going to talk about, just while I'm sort of at that sort of area, I'm going to talk about the characters. The characters, they were one of the weakest points of this story. I felt the characters are just there. They're kind of forgettable for me. It's The character, like Charlie, at first I was just like, oh, he's just a cleaner. That's cool. He's just gonna be some guy that Graham says some very funny things to, like rat cockle. This didn't really make me. I don't think it made me laugh at first, but on rewatch it made me chuckle a little bit. Because again, I was quite bored at that point. So yeah, the characters are meh, especially that I can't even remember her name. Kira, yes, Kira. She was, yeah, I really didn't care for her. I thought it was really well done how the death was. That was quite emotional. But that was quite upsetting with how it was done, and it's very brutal. But before that, she was sweet, and that's just about it. Don't think there was much to her. The dad who died very quickly, unfortunately, he was the best character out of them all. But as I just said, he died quite quickly. So, yeah. But the characters weren't the best characters, which is one of the things that Chibnall's always, well, generally bored. He didn't always have the greatest stories, but the characters were always, mainly quite good. So, and the villain. So, I've got a really similar opinion that I had for Demons the Punjab. I thought what the threat was, this is starting to annoy me now. The twist is quite cool. It works, I guess. But it's doing my head in. We have these really cool potential creepy villains. I mean, last week we had really, really, really good looking demons. And then they ended up just being watchers. It wasn't bad. But I thought they would be great as villains. They looked great. They sounded great. They felt really threatening. And you didn't feel like everyone was completely safe in those situations. But then they got wasted. Again, that was still my favourite episode. But I feel it could have actually, if it was done right, it could have ended up getting to like a 9.5, maybe even a 10 if it was done fantastically. That's how much I think the villains, how well I think the villains have been done. And the same with this. I know what I just said with the twist, but if they done it correctly, the villains, because it was mainly when I saw the robots where I was invested. When I saw that whole army of robots, I was like, whoa, okay, something big is going on now, and I want to know what the hell is going on now. And if they made those have the same intention, or maybe start with the delivery moon thing, plan to invade all of that by linking it to the bubble wrap, and I don't know. I mean, my remakes of scenes are rubbish, but you get the point. It could have been so good, I feel, if those robots ended up being the villains, because they're creepy enough. They're presented as the villains, but they're not the villains. This is really starting to annoy me. And now whenever I look at something in the Witchfinders, if there's something presented as the villains earlier, I'm just going to think, they're just going to turn out good. Because it just seems like the way everything's going. It's just annoying. So, after that little rant, I'm going to talk about something. So, the Doctor, again, I feel since episode 6, I accept her as a Doctor. And I properly realised this when I started seeing reports that she might be leaving after next year's series. Because I don't believe that she will, but I believe the reason why they're saying she will is true. But I don't think that will happen to cause her to leave. So, so if you haven't heard, apparently Chris Chibnall's planning on leaving already, and that Jodie. This is the part that I believe: if Chris Chibnall leaves, Jodie will leave, and I think that's fair. I mean, he signed her to this huge and dream-worthy role, and then he goes. So I get that why she would think that, but I don't think Chris Chibnall will leave after 2 years. I mean, he's just got in charge of this big show, I don't think he'll leave it after 2 seasons. But and when I was reading that, I was like, hang on, I don't actually want Jodie to go. I've kind of liked her. I kind of like her, and that's when I properly realised that, oh damn, I actually like Jodie as a Doctor now, like properly. So I think it's these last 2 episodes because I feel she's been really good in them. And she's just really grown on me in these last 2 episodes. We've had a lot more better scenes from her, I feel, and it just feels like that's the sort of Doctor that I can really get invested in, which is good. And I hope it stays out in the Witchfinders in 1 or 2 days. I hope this goes out on a Friday, which if it does, happy birthday Doctor Who, 55 years. I hope you all did something to celebrate it. I'm doing it by watching Day of the Doctor, because it's the best episode of Doctor Who, and it's a very anniversary episode, if that's a word. Probably isn't, but it is now. Add it to the dictionary. Okay, so next point. So, yeah, so just the music. And the music this series I thought has been quite good. It certainly suited the episode. It's not as... I don't think it's as listenable as, some of Murray Gold's work, but it definitely worked really well with the episodes, which is the main point at the end of it. It's not with how many CDs of it you see, it's how well it goes with the episode. Well, it depends what view you're seeing it from. But, yeah, the music in this was actually quite disappointing. I didn't think it was that great. I thought it was okay, but it felt like probably one of... This just shows the standard of Doctor Who soundtracks. But I felt this was probably the worst ever story with the music. I actually thought it is... And it's still okay. It just shows how good of a composer you got to be composer on Doctor Who. But it's not something that I can die over. And yeah, I know I said this in the last episode, but the last review, and this one will be a short video because I've literally just got a conclusion and one more point to make, and then I'm done. So yeah, but at least it's out there, and maybe tomorrow. I mean, I've got the Tane's reviews notes all done. I might record it after this, maybe a little bit after. I'll definitely record it today, and it'll be out tomorrow. If this is uploaded on Saturday, it will be you'll have a double upload because the Tane will also be out on Saturday. If this is out on Friday, then it'll still be out on Saturday. So either way, you're getting that on Saturday. Anyway, so back to where I was. So the 2 little callbacks which I really liked, and again, I wish I had my Fez because it just felt right, and I knew there was a Fez because I accidentally saw a little bit of Children in Need clip because just a kind of long story short, I was looking for the Children in Need clip. I saw something that was related to Children in Need, watched it, and I clicked it off as soon as the Kerblam man popped up, and then I saw the thumbnail, and it had Jodie with the Fez, so it kind of spoiled a little bit of the start for me, but apart from that, yeah. So yeah, I kind of wish I had my Fez because it would have felt right if I was wearing my Fez. But yeah, so that was a nice callback to Matt Smith and the Agatha Christie mention. I especially like this because we always get these mentions from the Doctor about previous big people she's met. You know, like in episode 2, can't remember who it was in episode 2, but in the last episode, Demons of the Punjab, she mentioned she done Einstein's wedding. So yeah, and we hadn't had story of Einstein, but when she mentions this in the exact same way, but we've seen that, I like that especially because it makes it just feel a little bit more real, because we just have these random mentions out of the blue of famous people. We have this, and then we have another random mention out of the blue except for us, it's not random, so I like that bit especially. But yeah, that's just me. I mean, you might not have the same opinion, but I just really like that. So now, on to the conclusion. This is going to be interesting. So overall, I thought the episode was enjoyable. It's rewatchable. Start quite boring, but I think the more I rewatch it, the more I accept. Okay, it's kind of more building up to what will happen. So I think I can sort of like live with it and not find myself as bored as I was on first and second viewing. So it was a good story. The plot was good. First character death, good callbacks. Doctor very good again, but unfortunately there was forgettable characters, average music, and CGI was a bit meh at some points, but it was also decent others. So now, overall, I'm going to give this story a 6 out of 10. Just because of the start, and I mean it's only soundtrack, but in Doctor's soundtrack is quite big. So soundtrack and the forgettable characters I felt really dragged it down. And the wasted villain, I forgot to say it in the conclusion. So all of that dragged down to a 6 out of 10 for me, which is, I think it's a rough bit better than Arachnids in UK for me, I think, for my ratings. But yeah, so thank you for watching this, well, listening to this review and seeing the pictures on top. And so yeah, I hope you stay tuned for the Detained review notes, which will either be out in a few hours or tomorrow. So thank you for watching. I hope you subscribe, like, comment your thought on this episode. Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? Or did you have the same opinion with me with the start, or did you have the opposite? You know, just tell me what your opinion is, you know. So yeah, so hope to see you next video, and yeah, goodbye.